All right, guys, welcome. We're so happy that you can join us today. As we mentioned, we have our founder and CEO, Stephen Smith, here to discuss the exciting new evolvements of our HOTWORX service and some pretty important details. So we're happy that you were able to make it. And Steve is going to go ahead and get this thing started for you guys. So thanks again.
All right, thanks, Danielle. We also have Jessica here, our VP of Spa Performance, and I think she has some comments on a couple of these slides to add to, as well as Danielle may have some things too. So I'll just go ahead and get started. As you all should know by now, we did make a decision to rebrand the service HOTBOX Detox, and you will see that slide on the main screen that we came up with, rebranding in progress. So we're sending out big poster images to go on easels for all existing HOTBOX Detox, rebranding to HOTWORX. I'll be making a tour of every location that has the unit now, bringing them new doors with the new etched logos, so to make sure that the rebranding goes smooth. So everybody likes the name. We went to a great deal of effort, worked with artists all over the place and online to help come up with this, and we think we nailed it. So we'll just go ahead and get started. We like to say at HOTWORX that this is a service that's beyond hot yoga. It is inspired from Bikram yoga. Most of you may be familiar with. Bikram was the original hot exercise program. It is yoga. They originally wanted to recreate India and the environment of India, which was about 104 degrees at 40% humidity. And what we've done is found out that it's better to work out in dry heat, and it's better to work out at higher temperature for 30 minutes instead of 104, 105 degrees in humidity for 90 minutes. So that's sort of how the inspiration began for originally HOTBOX Detox, now HOTWORX. So the ultimate reason as a business owner that you want to add this service to your spa is because you can increase your revenue. And we've seen locations increase by 30, 40, even 100%, even more than that. And I'll show you some of those locations in a moment. Originally, we were HOTBOX Detox. Most of you all might know the story about how the idea came about, myself and Jerome in Jamaica, about a year and a half, well, almost 2 years ago now. So you'll see that from idea all the way to when we actually had showing at the URSA convention this past year. But now rebranded to HOTWORX. And our tagline is, of course, Beyond Hot Yoga. The suite of exercise programs that we have, you'll see our new color palette, Hot ISO, which is the original workout, 30 minutes, everything's 30 minutes, right? The Hot ISO is all isometrics and 14 postures done in 30 minutes. You have a yoga warm-up, then all the isometrics, and then a cool down. And very popular. Everybody loves that workout. We've since added hot buns. Hot Zen is the meditation. We have just filmed and produced a great new workout video for the HOTWORX, hot yoga. The hot roll, which is using the foam rollers to give self deep tissue massage, of course led by virtual instructor, one of a kind workout, all under the family name now of HOTWORX. I might add that we will be adding one more in the fall. We'll be filming Hot Pilates, another 30-minute program. So last month, and this was yesterday, so it's probably a few stores might be even a little higher with their percentage of same-store sales increase. These are locations to watch and having phenomenal results. The one X factor is they installed hot exercise as a part of their offering. So now, all this time, we've had affordable spa luxury services. Well, now you have something, and one of the reasons they're getting such increases in their revenues is because now they have something that's not a luxury item, It is it's a necessity. As we all know that working out is not a luxury anymore. It's a necessity of life. So that's, I think, one of the big reasons why, other than it's cool and it's a different way of doing hot workout, that we're able to get these kinds of numbers is because before we had only affordable spa luxury items or affordable spa luxury services. Now add to that, we have um, a necessity item, a super high demand necessity service in hot exercise. Big difference. You guys have seen this before, and my original Planet Beach location continues to have double digit same store sales increases. But for the 8 months prior to installing 2 units, we were more or less flat at about 3.5%. And then once we installed those 2 units, my same store sales revenue shot up almost to 30%. The celebrities continue to endorse and talk about how they use infrared heat for various different things, uh, dance, workout, recovery. I hear that a lot from some of these performers. You can see the list right there. And when now we have our own celebrity. So I'd like to announce that in the coming weeks, you will see Jenny McCarthy all over social media for us, tweeting and Facebooking about how much she loves the new HOTWORX unit that was just recently installed into her and her husband. What's his name, Jess?
Mark. Oh, Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie
Wahlberg. Donnie.
Okay.
Mhm.
Donnie Wahlberg is her husband, and his brother is Mark
Mark.
Wahlberg.
Mhm.
Okay, I think everybody knows him. Anyway, they have a HOTWORX unit now at their house in Chicago, and as you can see, she's a pretty good person in terms of fitness to have endorsing her product. And you'll see all the covers of Shape magazine, Weight Watchers, even has her own Wii fitness video. And you all probably know her from the VH1 show back in the day.
Singled out.
Yep. So, brings me to this slide. I ran a lot of numbers recently. This is a slide from my own location. And what happens at the original Planet Beach happens all throughout the rest of the company. So, here's what's going on. Almost a year ago, I installed 2 brand new UV units. Great pieces of equipment. They have the skin sensor that determines your exposure amount of time, and customers love it, and that's great. But I'm gonna show you something in a second here. So at the same time, I installed 2 at the time Hotbox Detox units, now HOTWORX, and then we went about increasing our same store sales at a pretty dramatic rate. But I will now tell you that it had nothing to do with those 2 new UV units, because I want you to look at this slide very carefully. Okay, look at that black bar, and that is sort of a line that goes through, and you'll see that there's the big orange bars that go up. That is UV. And the number to the left, the scale, is per the age on the bottom, 17 all the way to 74 years old. You're going to see the usage in terms of number of sessions. So the orange bar is UV. This is for the year prior or what was going on. All right, now remember, in the next slide, I had just added 2 $15,000 tanning units, UV, and I want you to watch what happened to my UV usage. Okay, I'm going to blow this up for a second, let you see. All right, now let's go from the previous year to all the new equipment. Look at the difference. Let's look at it a little bit more closely. All right, I went from over 200 to less than 100 on the usage for the same crowd of folks in terms of UV. My point is, even though I added $30,000 worth of new UV session usage continues to decline. At one time we had almost 40,000 tanning salons in America. Now we have less than 8,000. So we've been preaching this tune for 10 years to get people to upgrade, convert to spa, and now to take it one step further and offer not just a luxury item, but offer something that everybody must have, which is fitness, which is working out, and in our case, working out in the heat. Take out an old tanning bed, please, and install a HOTWORX unit. And now you will have something that's a total demand that you need for longevity in life and all of the reasons and the benefits that come along with this. And now you can service 3 people in the same 8x10 room that you used to have for one tanning bed that, as you can see, demand for continues to crater. So here's a blown up look at that, the comparison. Let me go back. All right, look at what you're seeing there. Now let me go back. Okay, that's the year before. Then add the new equipment. That's the year after. It completely thank God I added the 2 hot exercise saunas, because had I not and relied on just upgrading the UV, it would have sunk my business. So by adding the saunas, I completely transformed the business at Uptown. And you all have seen the numbers, so you know that's true. So, well, here's the good news. Spa equipment total usage goes up, as well as just the amount of usage that happens when you install the hot exercise units. My point is that you not only get the increased traffic from those units, but those people also use more, and they don't use UV, but they use more of all of the rest of your spa equipment that you have. So it is an incredible enhancement to the spa, I guess is what I'm really trying to say. Now, let's look at the ROI. If you go out and get a loan from the bank and buy two hot exercise units, and you put 10% down, at 7% interest, you're going to run about $500 a month for a 3-year loan. Now, it could be 4-year, it could be 5-year, it could be 2-year, but at 3 years, it's going to run you about $500 a month. Now, by adding these units, if I increase my sales by 10%, I make an extra $1,500 a month. I pocket an extra $1,000. That's totally worth it right there. I mean, if I only had a paltry 3% or 4% increase, I'm still breaking even and I'm making my customers happy. If I'm 15% increase, now I got $2,250 extra cash per month. At 30%, many of these stores are doing 30%. Some of them with only 1 unit. Imagine with 2, which you really need 2 to be a player in the market. So keep that in mind. But 30% increase, and this is all based on the assumption that your revenue is $15,000 a month total. At 30% same store sales increase, you would have an extra $4,500 per month. Now let's change the topic just a little bit. Right now, if you guys do not have a hot exercise sauna, HOTWORX we call it now, then all you have is an affordable luxury product. You don't have anything that's absolutely necessary. So keep that in mind. But if you add a high demand necessity like what we're proposing, now you have something that people need and they absolutely must have to live a quality life. So you add a necessity coupled with the luxury items that you sell right now, and it will transform your business. Trust me. So I want you to think about it. Here's another thing. Everybody has the inner warrior fascination. So you see the girl on the beach in the warrior pose. Every customer you have, every potential customer that you might have, every friend of the customer that you have right now has an inner warrior that they need to release. By that I mean, if you get this new program, they get to go home and brag about it. Hey man, I worked out at 125 degrees. I did all these postures and I sweated. Man, I sweated so much. It was awesome. That's their inner warrior getting satisfied. And trust me, they'll take the guest passes and hand them out and they will talk about this service. That's why these numbers are so high, in my opinion, more than anything, is the inner warrior fascination. You don't have an inner warrior fascination with red light therapy. You don't have it with tanning bed. You don't have it with spray tanning. The only way you satisfy the inner warrior fascination is through HOTWORX. I wanted to put up some of the chatter that we see online all the time. It's all about the inner warrior. You know, it's about people talking, their businesses transformed. You know, their social media traffic is quadrupled. Let me go back to that one. Oops. The HotBox ain't no joke. All right, obviously this is the old branding stuff because we just rebranded. But HotWorks doesn't matter. People are going to talk about it because it satisfies that inner warrior. And this is old stuff, and guys, we can't even keep up with the new stuff. And here's some of the advantages. The virtual instructor software, I mean, if let's say you have 2 units, each unit can have its own schedule with some variation of those five, no, soon to be 6 workout videos that you can set to play. Every 45 minutes, there's a new one. And you create each unit and make that fit for your customers and your clientele. And you run it just like a group exercise program that any other gym, any other studio, any other place in America would do. And that's what you do. You set it up on a weekly basis, you publish it, and customers know. All right, there are 2 ways that your customers look at getting results. At the end of 3 months, what am I going to look like? How I'm going to feel, how I'm going to function, okay? And I get there because of my routine that's weekly. So therefore, you set up a weekly program, a schedule of the workouts, and you publish it. And the software allows you to do that in any configuration that you want. You set it, you go, you don't have to worry about it again until you decide as an owner to change it. And then you change it, you publish it to your customers, and you set it and let it go again. So you probably wouldn't have to change it but once every quarter. But at least you know that once you set it, it is a group exercise program that literally works on its own, just like a robot. The software allows you to do that. It's very low maintenance compared to the other types of machines that we have. Just is. It's not difficult to clean or get customers in and out at every 45 minutes. Uh, the reason it generates the revenue is because it is a huge traffic increaser. You go from, like I said, the room, the 8x10 that only does 1 customer. Now you got a room that does 3 customers at one time, and a product that is a necessity, not just an affordable luxury. There's a true social aspect to this, and I think, Jessica, you were going to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking to Steve when we were looking over this presentation earlier, and I remember being in the store just recently working in our corporate location, and just years ago, and a lot of you can attest to this. You have members that come in, you might not have a service available. They'll wait for the service, it becomes available, and like, oh no, I'm good. They almost just like hanging out at the spa. This is another layer that when Steve first came to us with this idea, I'm like, three people in one service, absolutely not. We have individual rooms. We can't have three people in a service. That's not Planet Beach, and it's totally the opposite. I mean, you think about it, people, especially Eileen, right? They like to work out with friends. They like to go to dinner with friends. Heck, we go to the bathroom together when we go out or whatever, so that's something that I'm seeing. Like we had, a couple of members at one of our stores. They met in the HOTWORX service, at the time. She was leery about going in with somebody else. I'm like, absolutely not. You'll love it. And they came out. They were best friends, scheduled their next session together, thanking the other one for staying in there. And I only stayed in there because you were still in there, and then they wanted to schedule their next sessions together. And then the other piece, I mean, we're always talking about referrals being the easiest and best, lead source. This is the easiest way and service that we could ever get referrals from. We've always talked about, oh, bring a friend, you like to come spa together. We really don't do spa services together. This they actually can do together. It's so easy when you have a member come in and do it, and especially if you see they're coming by themselves. I see you don't have anybody with you. Won't you bring a friend? Guess. It's so easy to get right appointments from people that are doing this service to bring a friend. And then, of course, this is the super glue. I mean, back from JP days with, the gym mentality, and you work out together, it keeps the two members going together. This is the same. We finally have that service that offers that does that. So just the referral potential and right appointment potential is so easy with the service because they can do it together versus, let's go to the spa together, and they're really not doing services together.
Yeah, and I actually have something to add too, guys. It's Danielle. Something that I see here, it kind of sort of ties into what he has about huge traffic increases. What it also really serves as is a closing tool. For those of you out there who are, you have the motivation to transition yourself out of the UV spotlight and into what a true spray and spot is, you're in that transition, and it's, we all know that it's not an overnight process, but I can tell you that's something, as well as those referrals and the whole social aspect that Jessica was talking about. Something I noticed whenever we were working in the store that we actually own here at corporate. It was a closing tool for that person that was on the fence. It was when they were like, oh, maybe I could do this UV stuff, or I could do this facial stuff. Maybe I'll need teeth whitening every now and then. Well, when we highlighted the HOTWORX service, that's when it was like, well, wait a minute, so I can get rid of my gym membership.
Absolutely.
Basically. And also it helps because you can, when you use it in your pitch to increase your net EFT, it's a dream for your net EFT, for your draft, because not only can you save people that are canceling because, maybe they just don't use these specific services anymore. It's a retention tool to say, well, listen, didn't you just have a baby? Aren't you training for that show or competition? We have something for you that you'll love. So it's a retention tool, but it also enhances other services you might offer. So if you are, you do currently are going through that transition stage, and you do have a lot of UV people, well, get them hooked on it for the purpose of it increases your circulation. Using it enhances your results that you get from doing UV, and you'll slowly start to see them use other services and just sort of float away from that whole I just want to tan mentality that we all are faced with every day. So it's huge for your draft, and it's a great retention tool, and it's a closing tool. So that's another huge advantage that the service has.
Well, and it's easy for upgrades. I saw in Luling a lot when people would try it and they wanted to add it to their weekly regime. 4 services a month doesn't cut it. So the silver members were like, well, I can't just come here 4 times a month. I don't want to pay X per session. I just need to upgrade to, gold or titanium. So I definitely saw upgrades from that as well. And then, of course, they're bringing their friends and their retail potential. I mean, they're constantly buying more products to use in the service, spa sprays. I mean, you name it. They were buying it up. So, I mean, you have that as well.
They're actually asking, is there products that I'm supposed to be using? I've noticed that too. So
you guys are spot on with that. I'll tell you that at my store, I tell folks that it has been the X factor that has transformed my business. I have the smallest amount of square footage in the top 10 but I have the highest net EFT now in the whole company. And I will tell you the reason is because I retain the new customers that we sell to. We upgrade the EFTs, and it's like now owning a mini health club that has a spa.
And that's another thing I mentioned to Steve, just not to cut him off, but you have your gym goers, your gym rats. Those people are not going to cancel their gym memberships. This is an additional piece of their regime. This is something extra added to, polish off their workout, as Steve would say. But this is something that's so unique that what I notice are people who are not gym goers, who are afraid of the gym or who've had gym memberships. They don't use them. They don't want to go in this big box place and be in front of people. They like the small boutique-y feel. And they don't know how to use equipment. They don't know how to work out. They're not going to go to a gym. This is their workout. So then you're appealing to a completely different group, that want fitness regime of some sort, but won't go to a gym. And we all know that there are tons of those people, more than probably the gym rat population or community, that this is an alternative for them that they would be comfortable with. There's 2 people at most in there. They're in a comfortable environment. They love the spa, the atmosphere of the staff and where they're already going, but they can actually get a fitness service that doesn't require big equipment and an intimidating atmosphere or something that's out of their comfort zone, but that they can build up to and get better at. I mean, we had a member at Luling. I mean, she's like, came to me, she's like, oh my goodness, I lost all this weight, these inches. I don't go to a gym. I never will go to a gym. This is my workout. And there's so many people like that we can capitalize on. But also the gym goer, the avid fitness people too. So just as we added spa and expanded our demographic, this does that more with one of the biggest thing that people look for is a solution to weight loss or weight management.
Eileen can now bring her mom.
I mean, you name it.
And her dad and her brothers.
All right. Okay, well, we'll go to the next slide. And this is a testimonial from Jessica. Wanted to put it in there because it's fitting for Memorial Weekend. But it's just a good testimonial really for anybody trying to get in shape and use this service. Remember, this is the old with the HOTWORX, but it's now HOTWORX.
It's Keith DeBoo, and I'm a soldier in the Mountain Army National Guard. When I turned 35, I stepped on the scale at 240 pounds, the heaviest I've ever been. After visiting with DJ at Planet Beach, she told me about HOTWORX and told me to try it. Within 3 months of doing HOTWORX twice a week, I lost 28 pounds and weighed the least I have in 10 years. I encourage people who are trying to get in the Guard to utilize HOTWORX in order to meet their height and weight goals.
And you guys, we're starting to see all kinds of stories like that now out there. It's a magic machine. I would invite everybody to start reading some of the blogs that I write. I could go on and on about the benefits. I will tell you that it does something to your metabolism. And if you do it often enough, aside from the flexibility gains, the bone density gains, the strength gains even from doing isometrics, it causes your body to gain muscle and lose fat because of how it makes your metabolism more efficient. And it's a combination of the compression postures and largely the infrared therapy as well. So it's amazing. If you haven't tried it, you got to. And you see results like this Sergeant DeBoo right here. So now, last slide, questions. Anybody have any questions?
We have them muted. So.
Callers are muted. Callers are unmuted.
Any questions?
Yeah, I have one question. This is Yvonne in Panama. How are you?
Hey, Yvonne.
My question is, I'm assuming probably it was mentioned in a Monday motivation call, but just in case, the artwork for the new HOTWORX, it'll be posted to a folder so that we can incorporate in our spas.
Yes, I have some stuff for you, Yvonne. I mean, we obviously it's going to take a little bit of time as we're updating all the images and artwork. Allison's obviously doing an overhaul. We have logos available, and we're also sending out to locations that already have the unit a transition piece, kind of like rebranding in progress. I don't know if you got Steve's memo that went out company-wide, but it talked about the door tour, him making sure we're rebranding this correctly. In your case, you don't have it yet, so you'll have everything new from the start, and we'll have updated collateral for like Facebook, marketing, things like that. So yeah. Yep. And then I know Steve and I talked about this too, just for you guys that don't have it yet, that want to get it and are thinking, oh my gosh, where would I fit it? I don't have room. That's not the case. There's always room. We have Mark here, Tim here, who have helped with all the locations. Look for space to put it, what needs to come out, what needs to go, what needs to be rearranged to make it happen. We obviously will help with that as well. We do have a lender lined up that's got a lease option for this and for the reimage pieces that would accompany it. So for those of you that are ready to move forward, we also have the convention special right now that we're offering for those registered for convention. So a lot of incentives aside from all the benefits of offering the service and increasing sales in your store. We have a lot of support to help get this going in your location. So it definitely, those of you on here listening to this, or if you listen to the recorded version, contact your performance consultant. We have all the details and can get you set up and talk about next steps.
Jessica's right. If I can fit 3 units along with everything else that I have into 1,342 square feet, there where there's a will, there's a way. We can ask Kim Brown in Homa. I mean, we find ways in the space to get these installed, and we'd be happy to help. More than happy to help. Mark does a great job.
Any other questions? If not, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. It's obviously been recorded, so we'll post it on Facebook, on the group, and whatnot as well.
And he's gonna be presenting on this as well, July 6th. You should have seen the event creation if you're part of the Facebook community. It'll also be on the Orion calendar, so we're gonna have another follow-up to this for him to present on HOTWORX service as well. So if you think of any questions after, feel free to contact us in Spa Performance. If we have no other questions, we'll go ahead and wrap up.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you all.